You may have already heard the story that Starbucks in an awful lot of hot water over two black men being asked to leave repeatedly from a Philadelphia Starbucks. Then the manager, after they wouldn't leave, called the Philadelphia police. They came in and arrested the two. Turns out they were waiting for a friend. The CEO has apologized, actually made his way to Philadelphia to meet the two men that were arrested and taken out of the store. I want to check in with Fox 29's Jenny Joyce, who has the full story. Jenny, what do you got for us?
So, yeah, Bill, as you mentioned, we do know that the CEO of Starbucks is here in Philadelphia. We don't know when he will be meeting with these two men. What I had read in some reports is saying that it could be in the next couple of weeks sometime, not necessarily happening today. So right now, I am inside of our news van. We're parked right outside of the two men's civil attorney's office, waiting to see some sort of development. So they have moved from a defense attorney now to a civil attorney in this case.
Jenny, let me ask you, do we know anything more about the two men? I mean, right away there were cries of racism, and right away the CEO of Starbucks throws the manager under the bus. Was there a reason, perhaps, that the manager called police that hasn't really been uncovered yet?
So that's unclear. What we do know is that these two men were asked to leave, and they did not want to leave. So the tone of their voice, though, hasn't been explained to us. What we are hearing from witnesses and what we are hearing from the two men's defense attorney initially is that there was no disruption in the store at any time.
Now, you said they've moved to a civil attorney. Have they talked about filing a lawsuit against Starbucks? I imagine that's why the CEO scrambled to get to Philly overnight.
Right. Yeah. So yesterday we were still interviewing the defense attorney. This morning we touched base with her and she said, you know what, this is no longer my case. It is now a civil case. So what's going to happen from here on out, we don't know. We assume that there's discussion right now happening between that civil attorney and the CEO of Starbucks.
All right, Jenny, thank you. Good to talk to you. All right, let's bring back the A+ panel for tonight's show, joined by Elora Nanos, Garland Nixon, and Peter Brown. Elora, I'm going to start with you. You heard Jenny. They don't know what took place before. There wasn't a disturbance, but we don't know if there was tension created. I mean, clearly they were taking up a table that could have been used by customers who were paying. What do you think?
Well, I think that in and of itself really doesn't amount to anything, because Starbucks clearly has a policy that people who are not paying customers can spend time in there. So there's no problem there. I think that there is information that I would like to know before rushing to a judgment that this happened because of racial discrimination. I would at least like to hear what the manager has to say. However, I think it certainly doesn't look good that by all accounts these gentlemen were acting perfectly reasonably, that there's no disturbance, no reason to believe that they had done anything wrong.
I tend to think that this is an issue more of implicit bias as opposed to direct intentional racism, and that is an important issue that people don't pay attention to. There are times when a manager or someone is more likely to see people of color as a threat or as a vagrant or whatever the case may be, and it's not intentional, it's implicit.
Peter, or is it implicit bias against loitering?
I mean, as far as the race aspect, I wanted to address that is that no matter where you work, you're going to have people who are racist. I find it hard to believe that Starbucks in itself is a company that embraces racism. I mean, they're located.
Weren't they just writing on the cups to start the conversation about race? I mean, ask me about race.
I mean, they're located throughout the states, if not throughout the world. They got thousands of employees, and to hear an incident like this is unfortunate.
Does a store owner or manager have a right to throw somebody out that's not a paying customer?
Depends on their policies. Maybe yes, maybe no. But their real, I agree with her, their real problem is in the court of public opinion, because they sell being a cool, hip company, the company of the Prius driving organic vegan, and those people like diversity, and they're not going to be happy about that.
We shall see. All right.